Top of the morning. It is 8 o'clock Monday morning. What's this, the 8th or something like that? And it is a balmy 9 degrees outside. It was a little cool running this morning. But the sun is up and it's supposed to be 43 or something by 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. Still only gonna be 32 by lunchtime though. So we got some things to do. Today we're gonna go look at a couple more tractors. I'll let you know how that goes. I was working on tractor number 2 yesterday. I got the fuel tank on. Got some new lights on, aren't those fancy? Got to wire those in now. Got to put the ground wires and run the hot wire. Tractor runs fine, but carburetor's leaking. I just ordered a new carburetor. I'm not even gonna mess with it. It's $24 or something for a carburetor. I rebuilt that carburetor. It's already leaking. I'm not gonna mess with it. So now I'm waiting for another week for parts. I also, on this tractor, I have to figure out how to do something about a battery box. I might just find another plastic box rather than trying to build something out of steel, or I don't know. I'll wait and see. And then on tractor number 3, I actually put the battery in yesterday and tried to start it. It does turn over. Oh, look, Mo wants to get in. It does turn over. I couldn't get spark to the plugs. I don't know, the plug wires are in really bad shape. So what I did was I've just ordered points condenser plug wires. So those will take 4 or 5 days to get here too. So we're gonna put that away for a little bit. So let's tighten these lights up. See if we can find the side panels, wire these. All right, oh, let's go. One of these wrenches ought to fit this. 11/16. Let's see here, how are we gonna do this? Oh, maybe I should have run this before I put this on there. These wires have to go up to here, and we're going to put the ground. You know, we don't want that. That's not. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. That's sitting on top of the fan. Yeah, no, that won't work. I think we better come down and around than up and over like that. Because we don't want that coming down into the fan. Everybody's got a little case of wire protectors, right? See all the different right, hopefully this hole will be a standard. That one a little bigger than this one. There we go. That looks better. And that protects the wire from that metal. Oh, speaking of that, wire's broken right there. You put a piece of tape on that, or a piece of heat shrink or something. Heat shrink kit here. Everybody has a heat shrink kit, right? Now we put this wire through here. What are we going to do about the ground? So I tried to do the ground here yesterday, but it doesn't ground. Just doesn't get a good enough ground. So I think this is long enough. What we ought to do I think we'll just go down here to the radiator bolt. Yep. And we're going to run this underneath, like right here. Just go right there. So yesterday, when I think I was filming all this when this whole valve broke up here, and I was trying to put a valve in here, and I didn't have a valve, and I said, well, if I have a problem, I'm gonna have to drain the tank. Well, sure enough, the carburetor started leaking. I had to drain the tank. So I'm gonna replace that whole piece that's supposed to be in there so that I shut the fuel off. So all I'm going to do is put both of these wires in here and then put this on here. That will hold these wires nicely right here. Get a little tie wrap, we'll tie that right there just so it's nice and tight in there. All right, same thing on this side. This and this will get tied, all three of those will get tied there. And then we're going to put these into a butt splice. So this gets cut off, this gets cut off the same height. Strip these, and we strip these a little longer than normal because we're going to twist them together. Try to get them into a butt splice. Going to have to use a bit yellow butt splice, like that. And then if we have to, we'll double that over so it fits in the butt splice, right? So let's see if we can get both of these in here without that one's in. I think they're both in. Oh, that feels better. That feels better. All right. Now that goes there. We need this one to be right there. That feels pretty good. Get the battery charger out.
It is mid-February. There's about 6 inches of snow on the ground, and it's about 2 degrees outside. So I thought it might be a good day to think about starting some seeds. It always motivates me and puts me in a better mood when I think about being able to get outside and get in the garden. I actually started some seeds a couple weeks ago, but they were older seeds. I didn't have the grow light at that time. Nothing really came up. What did came up was really leggy and just not as green and healthy as I would like to see. So I'm going to dump all that back into my pot right now and start over again. I got my grow light a couple of days ago and I've got that put together. When we were in Rockmart, Miami built me a little mini greenhouse that was down in the basement and grow lights on, and I found that when I started the seedlings, everything looked a little bit healthier. They weren't as leggy with the grow light. The grow light I bought here isn't a very high quality one. I'd like to have a little bit stronger of a light, but I didn't want to invest a whole lot into this because I know he's going to build me a greenhouse. And I also have a greenhouse down the road from me where I can get plants from. But eventually I'd like to get to where I can start everything from seeds, especially from the seeds of things that I grew the year before. So for right now, I'm going to start cabbage and cauliflower, broccoli, and a couple of herbs. Ideally, you want to start with a good potting soil mix. I like the ones that have perlite in it. That helps aerate and also it helps with drainage. I also like to pre-wet the soil. Dry compost is hydrophobic, meaning it repels water, which causes seeds to float, get buried too deep, or wash away when we water them. So when you add water beforehand, it just helps keep the moisture in there. It keeps the seeds in place. Then I'll tamp the soil down and then I'll cover it with saran wrap. Saran wrap's not one of my favorite things. In fact, I find it kind of annoying the way it all kind of sticks together. But it works really well to keep the moisture in and give that greenhouse effect. I also like these plastic containers because they drain out really well, and then you can close them up and they have like the automatic lid, then you don't have to mess with the saran wrap. I have a little sheet that I use, things that I want to start from seeds, things that I typically get from the greenhouse, and things that I direct sow into the ground. The second year of gardening in Rockmart, I had started some beans and carrots, melons, zucchini in pots. And I also direct sowed some seeds into the ground, and I realized that the ones that I had direct sowed actually grew faster and did better than what I had started in the pots. So this year, starting from seeds, I am going to do celery, cabbage, broccoli, peppers, tomatoes. I've got about 5 different types of tomatoes, and then some herbs. From the greenhouse, I'm going to get my sweet potatoes, probably cauliflower, onions. I already got the garlic in, and I'm trying to find some rhubarb. Last year I started rhubarb twice and it did not come up. So I want to see if I can get some of that from the greenhouse this year. And then a little bit later, I will direct sow the beans and carrots, potatoes, white potatoes and sweet potatoes, zucchini, melons, and peas. I'm trying to get a little bit better at what I plant. If you had watched a previous video, you know one of our goals or things that I would like to see happen this year is growing enough food to feed all of us. Yesterday, I replanted these broccoli plants. I had 2 of them in each pot, and they were getting pretty good size. So I went ahead and divided some of them up. Some of them I left together, and then I also started a few more. That's one of the mistakes I made last year. Is I planted all of them at the same time, so all of a sudden I had like 14 heads of broccoli that came up. So I want to make sure I stagger it this year, so we've got fresh broccoli for longer.
This is tractor number 2. The cool little lights I replaced on the tractor. These lights were in a box in the shop over at the house when we got here. And of course I don't throw anything away. So yeah, they both worked. So I was able to put them on. I have nice bright lights, so when I plant my alfalfa this summer at night, I can work. Besides, they just look cool. So we got the lights on, we got the tank on. I'm waiting for parts. I'm going to replace the carburetor. It's got the original carburetor on there that I rebuilt, but it's leaking, and I'm not even going to mess with it. A new carburetor is like $25. I'm not even going to mess with it. So I'm going to put a new carburetor on. And also, when I went to put the fuel tank on, the filter, this is a glass bowl, and the valve that sits underneath the tank, this broke when I was putting in the fuel line. Thankfully, I was able to take it out. So I've ordered another one of those. I'm waiting for that, and for the carburetor. This motor will be ready to go. Number 1, number 2 tractors, both run well. They're almost finished painting. I got to paint the underside of this and the outside of the wheels. They're both good. So these are kind of on hold till I get the new parts. I want to get the chipper going because we're going to be up in the 60s next week, and I need to get the road started. So I need to get the chipper going.
How'd it go looking at the other tractors?
Oh, that's right. We did go look at some tractors. And we did get some more tractors. Okay, I didn't buy the tractors, okay? I didn't buy them. John, my friend, traded for 2 tractors. He traded for another Farmall, which is probably, it's really old one. It's a 48 or 1948 or 49. It's probably in worse condition than this one was in, but the motor's supposed to run. So we traded for that one, and we also traded for what's called a Cub Lowboy, which is this tractor, but it's lower. And they turn the final drives around so that it sits lower to the ground with a belly mower. So what I've done is I've traded the tractor number 3, which I haven't got running yet. I've traded tractor number 3 for the Cub Lowboy that he traded for. So we will get that. It's up north about an hour, and they had 15 inches more snow than we did. So we only got to see the top half of the tractor. It was covered in snow. But we do have another tractor coming, and it's supposed to be working. That's what the guy says. So hopefully I won't have to do a lot to that to get that ready to start mowing here soon within the next 4 months, 3 months, something like that. So yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely, piddling. All right, that's it. We appreciate you very much. Thank you.